October 2004. Alan Embry, a 34-year-old journeyman in baseball, who just got brought into the game, tries to heat up his hand before he attempts to complete the impossible. It's Game 7 of the ALCS. The Yankees had started the series by going up 3-0, only for the Red Sox to bring it all the way back here to this final pitch. And as the clock strikes midnight, the Yankees' Ruben Sierra hits a ground ball to second for an easy out. The Red Sox rejoice, solidifying themselves in the history books and a spot in the World Series that they would go on to win. But as Sinatra blares through Yankee Stadium and through the televisions of over 30 million viewers, including my home, a peculiar sound echoes through a thin wooden door down the hall. It's my door. And if you listen closely, I'm writing my own history, doing the only thing that 10-year-old me wanted to do at the time. I mean, it also helps that I didn't really give a fuck about baseball. Still don't. Mortal Kombat Deception, the 6th installment in the franchise, holds a very special place in my heart. It was ambitious, it was dark, the opening scene draws you in, dials you in as soon as you load up the game. Could bring a tear to your eye. The menu screen used to give me anxiety before I knew what that was. It was so chilling, but you just couldn't stay away. Aside from the infamous arcade mode, they also included puzzle combat, a Tetris-style head-to-head, which I loved, still do, chess combat, a creative way to set up multiple head-to-head bouts between you and another person, or just bop the CPU, and of course, Conquest Mode, which is what I would like to talk about today. Now, Conquest Mode was born in the previous title, Deadly Alliance, where you would basically just watch this traveler go from location to location as you went through multiple training sessions with each of the fighters from the cast, ending each individual fighter's training with a best-of-5 battle against your double. And that was really it. You gained coins that you could use in the crypt, and once you took the time to clear every character, you unlocked Blazing Mocap. And there wasn't really a reason to return to Conquest after that unless you just wanted to farm coins. And if I'm being a little stick in the mud, you didn't really want to do it in the first place. It was obviously a bit monotonous, but in the moment it seemed fun. It was something new to the players. And then Deception came along with a new RPG-style Conquest Mode, where you weren't just watching some dweeb traverse God knows where, as you just sat there mashing the X button to skip the stupid lore and unnecessary intro captions, but here you could actually move around and explore the realms. You could speak with the people, you could battle the legends of the franchise along the way, all while following the storyline that will ultimately lead to the opening scene of Deception. Now, it has to have been easily over a decade since I've played this mode, but I just remembered loving it, playing it for hours on end, beating it over and over again, taking the time to complete all the side quests, find all the hidden treasures, and stock up on coins to clean out the crypt. So I decided, I'm gonna replay it. I want to talk about my love for this. This matters to me. And I did. And when I played through it and those credits finally hit, I just couldn't help but think, nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
If you don't wanna wait too long, if you think things might go wrong, then you gotta make a move, then you gotta download the RPG who let me write this song.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of big words I gotta tell you, so this isn't gonna work. Monster Hunter and Raid Shadow Legends, today's sponsor, are crossing over. January 9th to March 5th, you can collect 5 Monster Hunter-themed legendary champions. You can get the Rathalos Blademaster legendary champion for free simply by logging into Raid for 7 days between now and February 27th. In-game activities, themed community events, and more, where you can get the other 4 champions, which are, I'm not reviewing how to pronounce any of these, by the way, Zin, Ogre, Ruiner, Nergigante, Elatrion, and Fatalis. So don't delay, download Raid now using my link in the description. Start working towards getting your free Rathalos Blademaster champion and join the hunt today. The Cursed City is one of Raid's biggest features since the Doom Tower, with 100 stages to complete, including stages where you'll need to take down 2 of Raid's bosses at the same time as you work your way through the Cursed City, complete its various quests, and you can even get your hands on a mythical champion. If you hadn't started playing yet, then what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses available only via my link. You'll get 2 epic champions with my link, not 1 but 2 at once. First is Lightsworn, very strong epic champion from the Sacred Order. His kit allows you to keep a team alive with an increased defense buff, and the second is Epic Juliana after reaching level 15.
Additionally, once you're in the game, use the promo code RAIDXMAS for new and old players.
Once you're in and crushing your enemies, come find me under the name Mr. Gigi and join my clan Chongus Bongus, and we'll be legends together. Thank you, Raid, for sponsoring this video. You begin your quest as a young Shujinko, a new character in the franchise. You're in Earthrealm with your little shit human friends, learning martial arts from the wisest teacher on this side of the Nexus, Master Boraicho. Which I didn't understand when I first played this game. Why is he here? Why? This is the guy? I clearly never paid attention in Deadly Alliance because I guess they made it clear in that game that man matters. Apparently, Boraicho's been training warriors for the Mortal Kombat tournament for years. And he also discovered Liu Kang. Boraicho is apparently one of the most pivotal characters in Mortal Kombat history. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, yeah, duh. But in that moment, 2004, whatever the fuck it was, I don't know how I was supposed to know that. Silly me thinking this was just a filler character because he was an obese drunk who just pissed and shit everywhere. His name was a play on the word drunk. In Spanish, borracho. If I didn't know any better, I'd put him in the realm of Jarek, Meat, Cobra. I didn't think this man would see another roster. But here we are. Shitty, booty, but Raicho is gonna help us save the realm. So you can immediately start the training for Shujinko that will help advance you through the town, or you can just immediately start digging around. But what can you actually do outside of the main missions? Well, you're free to roam, you can speak with every person you see. They're not back and forth conversations, everyone just drops you a snippet. It's either an observation, a random statement like telling you to kick rocks, lore, a joke, a hint, or they assign you a side quest, which Earthrealm has a shit ton of. Like this kid who wants you to find his brother who's asleep in the woods. Oh yeah? How'd he get there? Or this kid who was clearly knee-deep in baddies and twisted teas last night, so he wants you to find him some medicine. Now I'll be honest, in my playthrough, I never found it. And he fucking died. I wonder who was the last person to see him alive. So these side quests are pretty much 99% of the time gonna be a fetch quest. Hey, I lost this thing northwest of here. I need you to deliver this to Ermac. I'm looking for this lost sword and I have zero guidance as to where you can find it. Good luck. We'll talk negatively in a sec, but let's talk about the other 1% of quest. Now this is pretty much adjacent to a fetch quest, but there's a side quest in Earthrealm where a woman tells you about a peeping Tom that looks through her window every night, and she wants you to scare him away. So yes, time does matter in this game. It moves extremely quick, but you will go from daytime to nighttime in most realms, and the public will mostly react accordingly, wrapping up their day at night and returning outside in the morning. And this little perv shows up at 2 a.m. every night because the woman gets undressed at 2 a.m. every night. Now you got a small window to catch him, but thankfully you can streamline the process with meditation. Shujinko has the ability to meditate and advance time much quicker for objectives just like this. So you see him walk up, you can even talk to him, but how do you scare him away? Well, it's easy, you just and the day is saved. So yeah, you can punch anybody in the game. There's no guarantee it lands, and depending on who you're dealing with, you might get an angry response or just knock the fuck out in return. And as far as bothering people in general, you can freight train bump into everybody. It doesn't trigger anything, there are never any consequences, you can just be a dick. It's kind of funny. But yeah, a few, very few, I can count them on one hand, quests require you to find somebody and knock them out. And sure, punching random people can be a fun little meme, but let me give you my other example of the 1% before I give you some thoughts. You could find Havoc in the Order realm, and he tells you to incite a riot, which perked up my ears immediately, because my first thought was, how am I gonna do that? This doesn't sound like a fetch quest. The thought of not knowing how to immediately complete that objective drew me in. But every conversation is followed by a prompt. And there it was. Find 5 citizens in Red Town and talk them into rioting. And reality strikes again. You talk to 5 people, get a random bit of dialogue, and they begin to riot. Then you return to Havoc and get paid in coins, as you get paid for all your quest completions, once you return to the person who assigned you the quest. And here is my first complaint regarding Conquest. That shit gets old. And it gets old fast. Now I know I'm not playing Red Dead, but when you get bored of taking these fetch quests and ultimately stop taking them entirely, the content outside of your main objective absolutely dwindles. And my urge to explore any of the 6 realms that you took the time to make takes a pretty big hit. So anyway, we take a few classes training with Boraicho, learning Shujinko's moves until we arrive to the walls of the town where B-Rai won't let you leave because you're just too inexperienced. Apep is my senior. Things are not going well. But that's when we are met by a fiery entity calling out to us. His name is Damashi, and he is a messenger for the Elder Gods who have chosen Shujinko as their champion and need him to complete a quest through the realms. And I'm gonna guess that the Elder Gods chose my name out of a hat. Because like I said, I am hierarchically below Apep.
Someday, I want to be the greatest warrior in Earthrealm. I I will show the real Shang Tsung who is.
Shujinko doesn't exactly question much, but he's a stupid kid with the crazy dream to fight for Earthrealm and defeat Shang Tsung. Damashi then gives Shujinko the power to absorb other warriors' fighting skills along his journey. And it is then that Shujinko turns right around and tells Bo he's ready now. Bo laughs it off considering they just spoke, but he gives him a shot. But first, he's gotta beat his ass. Which honestly, is pretty easy to do. There's a lot of ass to beat. A more mild complaint I have are these disconnected cutscenes or just lack thereof. This is what I mean.
Shot him. Is he not gonna tell me anything? Oh, he's over there. Oh, okay. You're over there now, all right, for sure.
I don't know, I feel like you're just riding high off the wind and then you just get thrown back in the world with no immediate conclusion. I don't understand. You end up looking forward and Boraicho just got pushed back 30 feet for some reason. It looks funny. I mean, you still get the conclusion when you go up to him, but why don't we just cut straight to that? Bo gives Shujinko respect even though he lost to an APEP understudy, and he allows you to explore the rest of Earthrealm and even wants to train you personally. We see Damashi right after, they celebrate his win and we get moving. Now, most of the issues I had in Conquest were revealed while I was playing through Earthrealm. So before we move on to the other realms, let's just stay here for a bit. There's a gray marker on the map that you can follow using your compass, which will always guide you to your next objective. So we have to go meet Raichu right now, but look at all these new people. There's so much to explore. So naturally, that's what I did first. I was pretty anal about weaving in and out of trees and checking corners behind houses because I remember there's just a lot of hidden chests scattered through Conquest. They all hold a random amount of coins, and the blue gold chest will hold some special unlockable, like an alternate costume or this.
Damn.
Some other things you can find that are rare are musical notes, which will unlock a musical track, a camera, which will give you a video, and then there's the infamous question mark, which does this.
Ooh, a question mark. What? What? What the fuck? What?
I don't know why that's in the game. I mean, it's funny, but I think that was the only one that I saw in the game. So I talked to some people, put Shujinko's ankles to work, and eventually come to talk to Boraicho. I now have a training session as Boraicho, which are pretty much identical training sessions to what Deadly Alliance did. You learn some basic moves, combos, special moves, and then spar. And after that, we learned that we trained for 5 years before B or I thought I was ready to venture on my own, even though Damashi was hounding me to start my quest 5 years ago. So we are now officially the second iteration of Shujinko, a young man with broad shoulders but no broads. Are you ready for more complaints? Okay. So it took me playing through the first few realms to realize that it does not favor me to explore the realm before I've completed all of the main missions in that realm. Let me explain. In the main storyline, after you train as Boraicho, he ends up sending you to the beach to talk to his buddy to help him find his medallion. So I talk to him, he tells me these bandits down the beach stole it, you gotta punch them, get it back, and report back to Boraicho. And that's all fine and dandy. It's just a little dingacy that I spoke to both of those people prior to training, and they had nothing of importance to say because, well, they didn't fucking matter yet. And that gets more and more annoying because, you see, through Conquest, you could be exploring and find a cave with, I don't know, let's say Natara. And she'll say, "Be gone, I don't want to speak to you right now." And that basically means, you found me, but you haven't found the person to assign you the quest to find me. So I'm gonna need you to go find that random ass person in the realm, take the quest of find a vampire, run all the way back, speak to Natara again. She'll now have some different dialogue like, "Why yes, I am a vampire." Crickets. Run all the way back to random ass person. You did find one. For you, a handsome reward. And you get 300 sapphire coins, which like you could honestly just find in a random chest down the road.
50!
There are just countless examples of having to work backwards because you happen to explore the realm in not the perfect order. Like another example is finding someone's lost item. I could comb the nether realm up, down, left, right, and then go talk to somebody who will tell me my special dagger was lost in battle. Is there any way you could find it for me? And I'm sat there thinking, well, I already looked through the whole realm. I didn't see it. What does it look like? Because I don't think it's here. But that's because only once you accept that quest will that item spawn into the map, which sounds like common sense, but I now have to slowly run around the entire map again to find this specific item, which very well could be one of multiple fetch quests just like this, where I have to talk to the person before something spawns into the map. I mean, would it have been crazy to already have all of those items spawned in? You would still need to go find the person in search of it, but it at least doesn't tack on all this unnecessary time of me just aimlessly running around the realm. And my final example of this is when I first started exploring Earthrealm before I trained as Boraicho. I saw Sindel in the woods and thought, oh, this should be a fun quest. But it wasn't, because it's a fight. This is another part of Conquest. There are random characters from the cast sprinkled throughout the realms, and they sometimes repeat. They are only there to fight, and if you beat them, you get coins. However, in every fight like this, there is a challenge attached to it. Some more gimmicky than others, some absolute fucking bullshit. Sindel was the first one I saw in my playthrough, as I'm still getting eased into the game. And my challenge was, defeat Sindel while starting with 50% health. And you are bleeding to death. And I'm playing as Boraicho, the guy that I, at this point in my playthrough, had still not trained as, because I decided to explore first. So the odds were against me, but I thought, I mean, it can't be that hard, right?
I'm alright, buddy. Fuck! Why?
I fought Sindel for, no joke, 20 minutes straight. And keep in mind, these little spars that I had at the end of my training sessions are night and day in terms of difficulty. And I don't just mean the first couple that I will do, I mean every single one in the game. I can just spam garbage in my sparring sessions and not get touched. But the difficulty skyrockets in these one-off fights. And this specific challenge is bullshit. Now yeah, after multiple restarts, I ended up beating her.
Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Fuck you, Sindel!
And in all fairness, I was still getting used to the game at this point, so that probably prolonged it. But what made it worse was that just I hadn't trained with this idiot. I mean, sure, training is monotonous, but I can at least compare some of the damages of the combos, see what's really effective or just what I prefer with this character, because ultimately I was at a disadvantage because I decided to explore first. And yeah, I could just leave the match. You can do it as many times as you want, go train, come back when ready, but what am I, a bitch? Now, I know I probably sound overly negative right now. Rest assured, I love Conquest, but I'm not gonna lie to you about the issues that I have with it, because there are more, but let's get back to the story. I eventually talked to the Lin Kuei and train as Sub-Zero. I'm sent off to recover an artifact, and that is none other than the Earthrealm Kamidogu. Now, the Kamidogu are the objects that I am to recover from the realms and bring to the Elder Gods. So with the Earthrealm Kamidogu, I open the portal to the Nexus, which is a place built by the Elder Gods to assist their champion with accessing the realms. And Damashi tells me to place the Kamidogu upon the altar, and the next realm that opens is where the Elder Gods wish me to go next, which is the Netherrealm, which I'm gonna show you none of. You think I'm joking. The Netherrealm is the realm of evil. Evil taint.
Evil taint.
The Netherrealm is a hellish wasteland filled with mumbly demons.
Oh, fuck off.
And the reason why I'm going to show you so very little from this realm is because it will automatically destroy this video. Automatic demonetization and automatic age restriction. If you didn't know, my full playthrough is on my Mr. GG Live channel, and every Netherrealm inclusion resulted in a dead on arrival video. Because there are people around the Netherrealm who were punished, probably because they were some sort of nuisance. It's just pinatas, the most festive thing in that realm. In addition, any fights that you have in the Netherrealm all have the same background. They're there too. 2004, you're bad. So quickly, story-wise, we meet Ashra, one of my personal favorites in the game, a new addition who is a demon slayer trying to purify her soul to escape the Netherrealm. We train with her and try to help her find Ermac, who she considers to be the demon she needs to defeat to finally ascend. We find Ermac, train with him, bring him to Ashra, and we play as Ermac to defeat Ashra.
Get your dumb ass over there.
Now, you would think playing both sides would result in
See ya!
something, but it's played very safe. Even after we defeat Ashra, they keep fighting in the following cutscene, and then we just cut away, and you don't see them anymore. So there's no victor, no loser. You didn't matter. But hey, look, it's the Netherrealm Kamidogu. It's there. It's there now. I guess we can leave. Friendly reminder, I love Conquest. I really do. I'll say really cute shit about it at the end. But yeah, they quickly stopped giving a fuck about how you find the Kamidogu story-wise. Like, it made sense that Sub-Zero was protecting it in Earthrealm. Here, it just appears after an undecided fight. And I guess if you are curious about any of the other memes in the Netherrealm before we leave, we have another challenge here that's pretty infamous. This one is against Shang Tsung, just like Abu. Now, do you all remember Sindel's challenge?
What is this fucking impossible thing?
Defeat Sindel while starting with 50% health, and you are bleeding to death, which was a certified ass. But now we have defeat Shang Tsung while he is healing and before you bleed to death. Which, surprise, surprise, Shang Tsung kicked me in the face with slippers for 15 rounds straight.
Oh, fuck. Okay, he fucked me up. What? Ugh. Fuck!
But we still got the dub. Jarrek's here for some reason.
Not a nice place, this nether realm.
Some people have referred to Jarrek as the worst character in Mortal Kombat history, and that was me. I'm some people. I made a video about it years ago. Don't hop on the bandwagon now. Also, the funniest thing in this realm that I still do not know the context to happened right after I spoke to Jarrek.
Shiva?
Shiva.
Why is Shiva just dead? What the fuck?
So we bring back the Kamidogu to the Nexus, but are approached by an unknown combatant.
Stop where you are.
Oh shit.
He tells Shujinko that he is the Elder God's chosen warrior, and that he is to protect the Nexus from trespassers. Shujinko obviously rebuttals, yeah, I think you got CC'd on the wrong email, dog. The Elder Gods chose me. And then we proceed to whoop his ass.
Fuck you, pussy.
Come on, baby.
And then step into the Chaos Realm. And I need to show you the conversation we then have with Damashi.
He referred to himself as the Elder God's chosen warrior. Does he think he is their champion?
He thinks that he is mistaken. As I have said before, you are their champion. You must continue your search in this realm, the realm of chaos.
Chaos?
So, spoilers. Damashi is not who he claims to be. Shujinko is being deceived. That's why it's called. And we will see multiple instances where Shujinko doesn't really question things. He wants to serve this higher purpose and please the Elder God so bad that he's willing to just kind of ignore shit. Like, sure, he at least asked Damashi, what was that guy's deal? But Damashi doesn't even lie that well. He tells him, I don't know, but I could sense he was quite powerful. Oh, like someone powerful enough to be chosen as champion of the Elder Gods? Why would you even say that? We're supposed to feel bad for Shujinko by the end of it, but we grow old completing Damashi's quest. Years and years and years. We talk to so many people and learn their fighting styles, but can't be fucked to borrow some intelligence and wisdom. Maybe get an opinion from somebody. Hey, there's a fucking fiery orb guiding me on a quest as the Elder Gods champion. And then one of them could be like, it sounds kind of stupid. So Shujinko eats it up, and we continue to the most frustrating realm in existence. But before we get off this, the false Elder Gods champion was named Monster, and he's not a playable character. Reason being, he's just Scorpion. Not lore-wise, but he's just Scorpion's character model dressed up, and he's got his exact moveset. I wish they did that more. I actually brought this up while I was playing in Earthrealm.
Keep to your own affairs and you will live a lot longer.
Anyways, I kind of wish I would maybe go into combat with those guys. Like, it wouldn't even matter to me if the fighter had someone else's fighting style. One of the final people I verse is the guy who's got like the whole fucking iron suit. And I think he just has Scorpion's fighting style. And maybe even something like that. Like if I had to beat off that hooligan. Pause.
Fight!
As you play through Conquest, you will realize the majority of fights you have will most likely be from these challenge fights, if you choose to take them. They are optional. I decided to count all the fights you have to do to complete Conquest. And this is excluding the 1-round spars at the end of training. That shit doesn't count.
Yes, that's right.
It's technically 19 fights. I say technically because there's a section where you have to verse 4 Hatarus back to back to back to back.
Bitch.
And by the way, because of that, we end up versing Hotaru in total 6 times in Conquest. That's damn near a third of the fights we have to take against Hotaru. And as far as challenge fights, in my gameplay, I attempted 23 of them. But that's also because I got bored of them and stopped taking them near the end, so it probably would have been a lot more.
I've hit my limit on this. I don't know. I guess at this point, I just want to finish the story. You know, I want the challenge to come from the story.
And we also have 13 training sessions that we need to complete with different people while we're counting things. Conquest is relatively short, which isn't a complaint, but I bring this all back to that monster fight because I feel like we could have had more fights like that, embedded into the story with non-playable characters that are just modeled after playable characters. Also, a challenging fight, which that monster fight is. We don't have a lot of those. I'll talk about that in a bit. I mean, even doing more of those, I mean, make it like an alternate costume you can earn once you defeat them. Just thoughts that are decades late. So, why is the Chaos Realm the worst realm in Conquest?
Mileena.
So not only is this the realm where we verse Hotaru 5 separate times, not only is this realm a bit more barren than the others, to say the least, but this realm has, debatably, the most bullshit claptrap challenge fight in the entire game. The Sindel fight in Earthrealm is challenging. The Shang Tsung fight in the Netherrealm is bullshit, plain and simple. But this fight with Mileena had to spawn from a staff member who just went through a rough divorce and needed to displace that pain. Defeat Mileena 3 times while she is healing. Doesn't sound that bad, does it? She's just healing. You're not losing blood by the second. You're not at half health. You can't only do these moves, but you have to beat her 3 rounds. And Mileena is not one to be fucked with. Let me count the ways. Mileena has great combos in all of her fighting styles. I don't know what the deception meta is looking like nowadays, but if Mileena isn't one of the best fighters in the game, I'll be damned if she's not at least in the better half of the roster. And you have to play as Ermac, who I was forced to start maining because of this fight. And I don't think he's the worst in the game, but I'll eat my shirt if he's not in the bottom half. So, when you're versing somebody who's constantly healing, you have to stay in their grill. Do not play distance, avoid getting juggled. It will waste time, therefore, allow them to heal. In her first fighting style, she has the Khan's Commander branching combo, which pops you up, and she's John Wayne Gacy with the juggle. In her second, she has Outworld Wonder, which not only hurts, but sends you to Jamaica with her size. And then you have to slowly move back as her health regens, but then boom, Sonic Speed Roll, which ragdolls you. This can't get worse, can it? Oh! Spammy shitter move where you just spawn from the sky with Das Boot? Psy pop-up combos. An axe kick where, oh, I blocked the rising kick, but don't let go of that block because the gavel's coming back down. She has 2 of those. In my Chaos Realm episode, I counted. I fought her about 80 rounds in a montage where I piss and moan for half an hour. And I'm pretty sure the editor cut rounds out. That wasn't even all of them. And you know what? I didn't beat her. That buck-tooth whore humiliated me. That torquing bitch emasculated me.
Emasculated.
I was depressed that entire episode. You can go watch it. And fun fact, after you beat Conquest and return to challenge fights, since you haven't just trained as somebody in the story anymore, you're just dealt a random fighter you trained with. I know this because I came back to finish what I started. So I got dealt Scorpion, and she beat my Scorpion. I got dealt Cabal, and she beat my Cabal. And then life had a funny way of bringing this full circle. Let's fight fire with fire. And that I did. She actually kept whooping my ass for a long time, but I kept trying to see what worked with Mileena. And she's good, like I said. So I picked up on a lot. And I knew that this had to end now.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sit the fuck down! Sit the fuck down!
So I think I've pushed this off long enough. A gamer is not without his flaws. I mean, look at Ninja. It's basically part of his brand now.
Imagine if Ninja got a low table fade.
But seriously, if you watch my gameplay of Conquest and you've played it before, you might notice something. Shujinko seems slow, and you'd be correct. What you're currently looking at is Shujinko's jog. This is Shujinko's run, and not one time, even on accident, will you see me use that run in my gameplay, as I complain about wasting time scouring the empty realms. Yeah, I didn't remember there was a run button in the game. Now, am I bringing this up so all of you can point and laugh at the 29-year-old losing his touch on the sticks? I mean, that's valid. Kinda mean, though. But it's a definite bias to address. My Conquest playthrough was objectively slower. I can't deny my issues with fetch quests and exploring barren lands was magnified because I had to sit in it that much longer than the average player, than the 12-year-old that knew there was a fucking run button. I've considered replaying the entire Conquest while using one of the basic mechanics that are at our disposal, but honestly, I think all my criticisms still stand. If anything, me being a dingus just made me a bit more snippy. And while we're on the topic, a few other things I suck at that may have influenced my playthrough. In combat, there's a mechanic called a breaker. Basically, you can break your opponent's combo if you're holding block towards them. And there were many a times where I was whining because I'm doing that, but not breaking the combo. You only get 3 breakers a match. I didn't know that. Didn't notice that. So for example, in that long-ass Melina fight, you probably want to strategically use those breakers, but not me. I went through grit and probability.
Fuck you!
I'm pretty sure Boraicho told me this in like the first minute of Conquest, but what do you think I read? What do I look like? Apep? That little shit's still in the village. Probably running duos with the Peep and Tom. Life is rough after your best friend leaves and becomes the Elder Gods champion. And I don't necessarily suck for this, but I also have to acknowledge I don't have any skin in the game. I opened hundreds of chests, fought dozens of battles, and did dozens of quests. But in reality, I mean, I don't give a shit about any of the coins I got.
50!
I didn't care about clearing out the crypt and finding all this new stuff. I wasn't gonna play Deception past Conquest and a few nostalgia runbacks of the other game modes. So the aspect of gaining currency, which I think is a huge draw to Conquest if you're grinding the game, meant nothing to me. It was all pride. But yeah, so anyway, Shujinko silently walks into a pool that works as a hot tub time machine, setting us forward multiple years into the next iteration of Shujinko, and the Chaos Kamidogu was there too. On to Outworld. You don't have to spend much time here. It's, I would say objectively, the realm you have to spend the least amount of time in. You get in, train as Melina, speak to the ruler of this city being attacked by Tarkatan hordes. He tells you about a priceless object in the living forest. You find out Jade already snatched it up, so you snatch her up. And Kamidogu. You're supposed to help the city from the hordes, but Damashi could give 2 shits. Get to the Nexus. Well, don't just jog, run! Now, there are a lot of challenge fights here. I attempted 8, to be exact. The next closest realm, for my attempts, stands at 3. And yes, of course, what's a realm without an absolute shitter challenge fight? Defeat Sub-Zero, while you only do 25% of your normal damage. That means I basically have to whoop Sub-Zero's ass 4 times over before he beats me once. And honestly, the worst part, I have to win 2 rounds. I tried so hard. I really did. I eventually found a pattern I liked that I thought could get me a dub. It was all working perfectly. It was factory operated. Sky kick, combo, switch fighting style, sky kick, combo. It was painstaking. Like the first round I took off of him, the timer was nearly going to run out. And friendly reminder, these are 90-second rounds. So at that rate, I have to play perfect for 3 minutes straight. Like, look at this bullshit.
No fucking shot! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What? No! Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and your mother. Fuck you and your whole fucking stupid ass.
This was fresh off Melina taking my chain for 40 minutes. So I quit, and I never came back. It was the beginning of the end for my patience with some of these challenges. But as for Outworld, there are plenty of quests there, and you can speak to Shao Kahn. Ooh, but I think the most noteworthy thing is probably the conversation you have with Damashi as soon as you get here. Because Shujinko's like, oh, Outworld? Emperor Shao Kahn, right? This is his shindig? And then Damashi's like, ah, yes, that cretin, that liar, that pitiful excuse for the rightful lord of the realm. Yeah, he stole Outworld.
Who ruled Outworld before Shao Kahn?
A powerful military commander Onaga, the Dragon King. In that age, Outworld was unified. Under Shao Kahn's rule, however, Outworld has become a dangerous and chaotic place. Be wary as you continue with your quest.
Yeah, but Onaga, man, a leader amongst men. You know, big wings equal big things. I digress. He just had to be there. I mean, I'm talking like big, shiny wings. Beat-ups eat your heart out. That kilt, yeah, some said not long enough. Something tells me Damashi's got a little bias in this history lesson. It's kind of from this point, I feel like we rushed to the ending. Or at least that's what I did. We are at the Order Realm, where we meet Hotaru and train as Hotaru. He has you go whoop Darius, and once you do, he agrees to help you with the city and Outworld because Shujinko promised the leader he'd help, and he cares about keeping his promises. Even though Boraicho's still waiting for him to return his medallion to him that he never gave back because Damashi told him not to in Earthrealm, but I digress. So Hotaru concludes our discussion, and this is when the NPCs do that really funny thing and speed run away for an undisclosed amount of time until they get bored and then throw a smoke bomb down to disappear. It's great. And you can leave the Order Realm at this point. But let's slow down again. I haven't really described the realms to you all that much. So let me give you some pros and cons. Earthrealm is the soft spot for many. It's where we all began our journey. It's where we first experienced conquest. It's your starting village and a small world outside of it. Pretty standard, huts, temples, a Lin Kuei training academy, and just nature. I believe this is the realm that begs you to explore. There are an absurd amount of quests, and it's the most tranquil of the bunch. For what the game is and where you experience it, it's the perfect realm. The Netherrealm. It's very fitting, once we begin our travel of the realms, to have us immediately jump into the exact opposite of what we just became accustomed to, where peace is trampled and tranquility is bludgeoned. The Netherrealm is downright creepy, and never failed to leave younger me with a feeling of unease. The same way Shujinko doesn't want to spend that much time there, I didn't want to spend that much time there either. The bad part, this is where I started to realize how empty some of the realms were gonna be. Now, are there challengers' chests and Easter eggs sprinkled throughout the realm? Yeah. Are there large masses of lava land where there's nothing to look at, way too much square footage, and just one gold chest there to justify all of it? Also, yes, the Chaos Realm. The gimmick here is that it's chaotic.
Chaos?
There are these teleportation devices scattered throughout the realm that send you to different floating islands to just look at things. Is this my least favorite realm? It's possible. I feel like aside from the structure just being awkward, there's not a whole lot of chaos to be had. Like, yeah, sure, some of the people talk in that reversed Tupac Illuminati voice, but they did that in the Netherrealm too. And I didn't like it then. Outworld. I think that Outworld has a lot more personality. Yes, it's like every other realm where you can enter into pretty much every building you see to slowly walk in, grab a ruby coin, and then slowly walk out. But having Shao Kahn be here and not be a main objective in the story is pretty cool. The Tarkatan hordes surrounding the city before they're wiped, the Tarkatan camp, the secret caves. I got my gripes, but this is better than most. Order Realm. I hate the Order Realm. I get it. It's supposed to be the opposite of the Chaos Realm. So instead of disjointed land, we have a perfect color-coded circle, which sucks balls to maneuver. Like if you're trying to get something on the grass, you gotta find the bridge there, get it, and then, oh, you have to take a much smaller bridge path to leave the grass. It's ironically more clunky than the Chaos Realm. The best thing this realm has going for it are the riots in the streets when you first arrive, where these goofballs are hooting and hollering. That's fun. But everything being in order and me being forced to explore in order, I get it, that's the thing, but like it's bland. And I'm skipping ahead here story-wise, but the last realm is Edenia, a beautiful land. That brings us back to the tranquility we felt in Earthrealm. Is it perfect? No. But is it a nice break from this? Yes, it's normal. Everything you can interact with is pretty evenly scattered in my opinion. It's just chill vibes to run around to, jog. What's that? You wanted more story? I gotcha. So skipping a few things here and there, Damashi gives me good news. That the Elder Gods have granted me the opportunity to fulfill my childhood dream of fighting in the Mortal Kombat tournament in Earthrealm to defeat the sorcerer Shang Tsung. I'm not sure why he tells me this. I literally think it's just shoehorned in there to have us return to Earthrealm, or to give Damashi some brownie points. We then seek Kenshi, and we approach him for a very important reason.
Why do you cover your eyes? Are you blind?
Hey, jerk off, where's the piñata? Oh, so Kenshi wants to kill Shang Tsung. He's desperately trying to find him because he's the one who blinded him. I tell him I can help. Then we find Nightwolf, who tells me to kick rocks because this is sacred ground and he senses corruption in my soul. Which is rich coming from the guy who's literally in the fucking Netherrealm. And you can't enter the Netherrealm without any hint of corruption in your soul. We were only able to enter because, well, Damashi tells me it's probably because of my interactions with the Lin Kuei beforehand. Did I mention I'm a part of the Lin Kuei? I'm a certified member of the Lin Kuei. But I think he's just gaslighting us. I think it's because of my interactions with him.
The Lin Kuei has left a small stain of corruption on your soul.
Corruption?
So basically, this thing happening right now is dumb. But you know what's dumber than that?
If you will allow me, I may be able to purge this contagion from your being, although it will take many years to accomplish.
Many years?
Oh wait, am I finally gonna become old Shujinko?
But I suppose I should take advantage of your offer.
What? Do you even want to do this quest? Are we not slated to fight for Earthrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournament? Are we not looking for Shang Tsung anymore to help Kenshi? Will Boraicho ever get his medallion? We trained as Nightwolf for years, and he ends up telling me that an evil taint still has a hold on me. But now I can control it, which seems like a 1-star review for me, Wolf. And we officially step into our next iteration of Shujinko. We move a bit west and there's Shang Tsung in the flesh. And I tells him to his face, I don't like you, and I'm gonna whoop your ass in the tournament. And he says, wait, you gotta prove you're good enough to fight in the tournament first. So how about you whoop my ass right now, like you were saying? And we do. We whoop his ass. And then he's like, all right, cool, you're valid. And this is where we name drop Kenshi, which Shang scoffs at. That conversation ends, and then we jog all of 7 seconds to find Kenshi again. Not that far away from his lifelong goal of revenge. He's blind, guys. And then we train as Kenshi. And then we have this bullshit conversation with Damashi after we tell him that Nightwolf cleansed my soul. Kind of.
The taint you refer to allows you to enter realms otherwise inaccessible to other beings. You will need to regain it in order to continue your quest. I suggest that you return to the Netherrealm.
This is all confusing. He wants me to return to the Netherrealm to re-corrupt my soul. But you cannot enter the Netherrealm unless you already have some corruption, which I apparently already do have, but I can just control it. So that all just seems pointless. Shujinko's a little peeved that he just wasted years cleansing his soul just to throw it all away for Floaty Orb Man. Then he's a little upset because he was about to fight in the tournament and defeat Shang Tsung. But no, that has to wait. Go to hell. Hey, speaking of time, have you guys forgotten about something I mentioned in the beginning of this video? Because I'm pretty sure the developers kind of did.
We haven't had to use meditation at all. It was only useful in Earthrealm. We haven't put, I forgot I can do this. Completely, I forgot I can do this.
Like, that's literally one of the main buttons for your character. Now, can you meditate at times where it might be maybe useful? Sure. Like, if you don't like running around at night, you can meditate until daylight, I guess, and be like, all right, cool. But as far as really tying it into the game, it's kind of completely lost its use. Like, I genuinely forgot I could do that. But anyways, story. So I go to hell, train with Scorpion, and I help him find Quan Chi because he doesn't like that guy. Damashi reappears and says, I can smell your corruption now. And Shujinko's like, yeah, this guy Scorpion, pretty evil. You got it all over me. By the way, we ran into Raiden while leaving Earthrealm earlier, and we see him again. He needs our help because I believe we're currently in the storyline of what happens in Deadly Alliance, because Shang Tsung and Quan Chi are teaming up to rule the realms. And Raiden sends me to recover Quan Chi's very special amulet because it's more powerful than he thinks. But that's when Kano captures me in Outworld and basically enslaves me. And then even worse than that, I have to train as Li Mei. I hate her in this game. I hate Li Mei in this game. I'm sorry. She sucks. I promised to help Li Mei's little village of slaves. So I think, you know who we need to get more dialogue of? Hataru. That guy could probably help you out. He saved that other village. Let's see if he can help.
You violated my ordinance. You were to go indoors when the toll sounded.
Ordinance? I just recently arrived. I had no knowledge of any ordinance.
Ignorance is not an excuse. I am placing you under arrest.
Yep, we're put in jail, awaiting our trial for years. And we are now at the final iteration of Shujinko, Old Man Jinko. So let's review our recent timeline that we just zoomed through. We spent years cleansing our soul with Nightwolf, then re-corrupted it in a couple minutes. Then we were enslaved for what seemed like a couple minutes. Then we went straight to prison for many more years. We spent about a decade doing nothing. So it's my day in court finally. Now I'm in a holding cell awaiting my judgment for breaking curfew, need I remind you. And that's when Dairu sneaks in and murders the Satan guardsman. Why? Well, apparently, Damashi paid this mercenary to kill them to set me free, because if I'm in prison, I'm not doing his quest. And there's some quick points to be made off of that. Number one, you waited till my day in court? It's been years, Damashi. Number two, I could have done that, which Dairu even points out. He kills him like in a flash, and he's like, well, you could have, I know you're old, but the problem is Shujinko's a good guy, so he'd rather rot in a cell. He questions Damashi's choice to send somebody to kill for him, and then he's like, but what the hell? I guess I'm free now. That's cool. Number three, Dairu also gives him the courtroom key. Why? I know why, but it's really silly why. The Kamidogu's in there for whatever reason. Like I said, they stopped giving a fuck about that. And also Hotaru, the main character of the story.
Had you simply waited for your trial, you would have no doubt been found innocent.
So then why the fuck did you have me in a cell?
Your defense.
So why the fuck did you have me in a cell?
Facing a sentence of death.
If it has come to that, I have no other choice but to resist arrest.
Hell yeah.
This is a cool little build-up to a fight. And you know what? It's the sixth and final time that I get to beat Hotaru's ass. You did the line of resist arrest. And I fight as Lee Mei.
Who am I gonna fight as right now?
Boo! I whoop his ass, question Damashi for the 50th time, and he literally tells us, hey, you did a lot of questionable shit on your journey too. I wouldn't be so judgmental. Pot me kettle. Go get more Kamidogu. I tell him I'm not exactly happy with the quest anymore, but it doesn't matter because the scene cuts. We move on to Edenia, and Damashi warns us that he senses somebody else is after the Kamidogu that's here. And Shujinko finally says, hey, what is the Kamidogu? What does it do? I've spent decades of my life trying to gather them. Do you mind? And he begrudgingly gives Shujinko some lore. Then Shujinko's like, oh, I see. But like, why did they need me? And Damashi doesn't really answer that. He just tells him they needed somebody to gather them before someone bad gathered them to merge the realms and rule them all. Which, like, okay, once again, why'd you choose this shitter?
I have no doubt that you will succeed, Shujinko. You have served the Elder Gods well.
Yeah, Shujinko's a fucking idiot.
So Shao Kahn has overrun Edenia, and his men are looking for the Kamidogu. Katana is on her way to Outworld to lead an attack on Shao Kahn himself. So she tells Shujinko to free her imprisoned mother, Sindel, so she can lead the resistance in Edenia. Right now, the traitor Tanya is guarding her cell. And this is gonna be the first time we fight as Shujinko since the practice fight against Boraicho in Earthrealm.
It's so weird that now they bring me back to Shujinko, though, after all this time, when, like, I haven't practiced as him at all. Look, they just throw me back into this, and I was like, yeah, you know, you remember the thing you did fucking 9 realms ago? I don't.
And I remember this fight being really difficult as a child. I beat her first try.
Got him.
We free Sindel, train as Sindel, even though it's pointless because we're not ever gonna fight as Sindel. There's one more fight in Conquest that we have to do, and it's a fight as Shujinko. But I guess it's just a cute way to have us somehow find the Edenian Kamidogu, even though Sindel never said she had it. She doesn't even really say, here you go. It just, we finish, and then Edenian Kamidogu. So Damashi tells us once we return the final Kamidogu, he will receive a physical body and be able to dwell among us, which he makes it sound like that was the point of our entire quest. But Shujinko just congratulates him. And returning to the Nexus, we get our ending to Conquest.
After all these long years, I have finally found the last of the Kamidogu. My quest is almost at an end.
What is ending is your
Oh.
meddling in the affairs of the Elder Gods.
I versus actual Scorpion.
Scorpion!
I taught you my fighting skills. Now I will give you your final lesson. Fight!
What's his motivation?
Great question, me. Listen, this is a fun fight. It's challenging. I gotta take 3 rounds. I love this part of Conquest. It makes sense. It's not super impossible bullshit fight. It's also not fucking tutorial walkthrough where I can just spam special moves and body anybody. These are the perfect challenges. I wish there were more. But I mean, if we're staying in story, there isn't really a great reason as to why Scorpion, of all people, is trying to stop me now. He just wants to kill Quan Chi, who's currently teamed up with Shang Tsung trying to take complete control. He says he doesn't want me meddling in the Elder God's affairs, but what do you give a shit about that? I beat him, place the final Kamidogu on the altar, and nothing happens. Because
you have not completely finished the quest.
What are you?
Shujinko, this is Onaga, the Dragon King, the original ruler of Outworld, and he's holding Damashi. Damashi's not your friend. He is not your guide. He is a projection of Onaga's consciousness that he was able to manipulate beyond the boundaries of death. And for some reason, he did all of that to fuck with this child named Shujinko, to bank on this snot-nosed little no-name to gather the guarded Kamidogu from 6 very dangerous realms. We're also not gonna mention how he was able to give you the power to absorb everybody's fighting abilities when he was literally just a projection orb with no Kamidogu in his possession at the time. So the Kamidogu would normally transport to the Elder Gods like Damashi initially said, but there's still one piece missing, and that is Quan Chi's amulet, not Boraicho's medallion, don't get him confused, which the Dragon King is now planning to retrieve on his own. Now that he has a physical body, he no longer needs Shujinko. So now Shujinko's gonna die. But one little tuck and roll and we're all good. Onaga doesn't bother to chase him down.
I have been a fool.
Or
blinded by the lure
of deception.
Entered the realms and betrayed the Elder Gods. The blame is mine alone. What have I done?
Congratulations, you have unleashed Shujinko. With his combat might, you can defeat the Dragon King.
The Dragon King now possesses
Wait, this isn't the end of Conquest, right?
Yes, it is. I was pretty dead set on fighting Onaga to finish out Conquest, but it just ends there. And the point is to now play the arcade ladder with Shujinko and defeat Onaga there, which is fine, but it's a rather anticlimactic ending to Conquest itself. Like, my gameplay ending was versing Scorpion, which just kind of reinforces the idea that I think he was just thrown in there to have me have some sort of final boss fight of Conquest, since it wasn't Onaga. But yes, anyway, the end of Conquest leads to our fantastic opening scene where Raiden tries to defeat both sorcerers alone. The Deadly Alliance had resurrected the army of the undead with the amulet, and with that power, they can body everybody. Raiden fights valiantly, but he gets bobbed. And in an instant, these two scumbags turn on each other to take control of the amulet, and Quan Chi wins. But that's when Onaga shows up, and it's badass because the army of the undead bow to their true ruler, even though Quan Chi still has the amulet. And in an act of desperation, the three foes attempt to take down Onaga. Raiden knows Onaga's too strong, so he cooks up a thunder bomb to kill everybody, but at least in a sacrifice to save the realms. But it wasn't enough. Barely a scratch, really. And Onaga gets his amulet, the last thing he needs for complete domination. Until Shujinko jumps in arcade mode and starts whooping ass. Play the montage!
I love this stage. The dumbass down. I love it. So unnecessary. Oh, wait, you get Harakiri? No, I was gonna... That's pretty cool. Oh, is it that easy? Oh, okay. Fuck you! Oh, yo! That was close, I was about to take a quick L there. That was the weirdest ending to a match you will ever see. Oh my gosh. Get the fuck down! No! Let's go! What? What? Oh! No way! Is he the one? He's the one! Time for big boy. No! Ivaki's gonna kill me. Low kick. Always aim for the ankles, baby. Grab this quick. Yep. Come on, Shujinko! Everything that you went through! Everything you went through!
And I wish I could end this there, but I can't. After finishing Conquest, you can free roam in the realms, and I haven't mentioned this, but there were some areas in the realms that I was not allowed to enter until now. And also, remember how I said we only had 13 training missions? It's 14, by the way. I didn't count Shujinko at first, sorry. Well, there's 24 characters in the game. So if you can find them, you can now train as the remaining 10 fighters, which I did to make sure that I completed Conquest. Starting with the restricted area in Earthrealm where I found Dead Liu Kang, because he died in Deadly Alliance. Spoiler.
Liu Kang dead.
And we train as him because he is very much a playable character in the game. So I go back to every realm, I find some areas I wasn't able to explore. There's cool little Easter eggs like a challenge with Sonya in the Chaos realm, who's not in the game, by the way. This is her Deadly Alliance model. I mean, I just have to hit a 7-hit combo, which stinks, but I mean, it's something new. The training sessions don't change, it's the same bit, but I want to focus on the most interesting thing I found on my revisit. If you go back to the Nether Realm, you find this massive bridge and see Cabal, Kira, and Cobra. The KK, and I had never seen this, not even as a kid. I prompt Cabal and get the text, defeat him to gain a reward, which I thought we've just given up at this point. I see we fired the poet on staff who wrote gems such as,
"Get over here. Will you go over there?"
But after taking the fight with Cabal, we get this text. Defeat Cabal to awaken Kolchal, which threw me for a loop. I don't know how to pronounce that, by the way. The challenge was dark combat, but we don't focus on that. Kolchal. I don't know who that is, what that is, but we have an objective that I don't know anything about. It's exciting. So we defeat Cabal, and lava pours down one of these massive skulls. I get more excited. Things are happening. The environment is reacting to my triumph. So I move to Kira. Defeat Kira to awaken Kolchal. Let's do it. I'm bleeding out on this one, and it's no easy task. But I'll be damned if I quit on Kolchal now. And after many an ass whoopings and yelling into the mic,
"Oh! Hit her! Shojinko! I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything! Are you fucking joking me?"
Alright, so she flew over my head and rebounded off the invisible wall and hit me? That's crazy.
Yeah, boy!
We get the dub, and lava begins to pour from the second skull. Let's finish this. Defeat Cobra to awaken Kolchal. He does hella damage in this one, but I don't care because I'm the king of spamming Nightwolf's special moves and we clean him up quick. And the third skull begins to pour lava out. And I can't believe you had to play Conquest this long to feel something. Not only this rewarding, but this fucking cool.
What? No fucking way. Oh, what is this? There's no way there's another realm. What? Please don't let me down. Please, I'm so excited. This is back to the Nether. I'm just at the beginning of the...
I swear, if I turn all of these on and it just spawns a gold chest, and it's like, you got Cabal's alternate costume, I'm gonna jump in the lava.
I wish you guys could see my face right now. It's very close to Shojinko's. I was so excited for a moment. It's like my brain using logic and reasoning was like, bro, it's not gonna do anything different. If it was gonna do anything relatively different, like you would have seen it by now. They would have done it already. But it was such a cool thing that like, and there's been nothing like that in the game. A harsh dose of reality. Thinking Conquest changed. I'll do better, babe, I promise. Stop it. I know you.
Revisiting Conquest really just made me realize how ambitious this game really was. I think I saw Ed Boon tweet out that he was still shocked how they were able to put everything into Deception that they did. And I'm no game developer, but looking back at it, it seems fucking insane, especially coming from what Deadly Alliance was. They had to build 6 realms, fill them with content, weave a story, and that was just for what is essentially a bonus mode. It can be a lot of fun to get lost in the atmosphere of Conquest. The music in the game is incredible and can make each location seem so unsettling, which they should be unsettling. Lurking with warriors, killers, treasures, and a looming fight for the realms. The fighters you follow through the franchise and the fighters you're being introduced to have the opportunity to finally really show you a personality. I mean, sure, the writing and voice acting is, you know.
You will pay for assaulting a general of Shao Kahn's army.
You might be the worst voice actor in this game.
You'll find no arguments there, but it's there. So much lore is there for you to take in. And I know I didn't focus on this, but there are a lot of funny moments. There are those silly moments that Mortal Kombat is infamous for. Like, they made one of the sickest mature rated franchises of all time, but they still take the time to put in all their stupid little gags. Like in the Chaos Realm, if you punch mocap, it initiates the widescreen cutscene of him saying, "Oh, my balls!" There's a side quest where you have to scare an old man, and if you do it twice, you kill him. He has a heart attack. Then the guy who gave you the quest refuses to pay you because you're a murderer. You search for a dog that somebody lost, and then the person ended up killing the dog for food. And then when you tell the original owner, they're like, "Oh, well, join me later for some doggo stew?" And I try to hurt that person. Shao Kahn's mad that Reiko is going into his private chambers and just wearing his helmet. And Reiko admits it. Like, oh, he knows about that? And that's just a few examples. There is a lot of fun there. Conquest does not take itself that seriously, so it does not surprise me that Mortal Kombat fans look back at this fondly. They have every reason to. This is genuinely, video games-wise, one of the staples of my childhood. And regardless of any complaints or jokes, I love this shit. And I always will. Born of Deception. If you guys enjoyed this video, that was very different. Please leave a like, subscribe. Here are my wonderful patrons. They're the best, and they like to enjoy exclusives monthly from me that they vote on. You can always get yourself some delicious Gamer Supps, some sick Gamer Supps merch with code MrGG for 10% off.
And don't forget to download Raid Shadow Legends using my link in the description or scanning the QR code.
And as always, I am MrGG, and I am out.